How's it? My name is Darshan. In this video we shall be talking about how to install WordPress on a server. This is a really cool skill you should know especially if you want to go into a lot of marketing and you want to have your own website. It's a really cool skill that you should honestly know, and it's not that hard. It's really easy and just takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do. Okay, so before we actually get started installing, there's two things that you need to have on your downloaded. And the first thing is the actual WordPress package. And to get this WordPress package, you go to wordpress.org, and then you go ahead and excuse me, click this download button right here. So you can download this WordPress right here, and it'll download the whole WordPress package for you, and then you will eventually put this on your server. So I'm not going to download it just purely because I have already done it here, and I just want to save us some time. Okay, so the second thing you need to download is what's something called FileZilla, which is an FTP client, or file transfer protocol. So what this does is it basically allows you to communicate with your server. So we're going to be using that to take this WordPress package and put it on the server. So to do that, just go look up FileZilla, or you can just go to that URL up here, filezilla-project.org, and you can go ahead and download it here. So both of these are free. They're fairly quick to download, and yeah, just make sure you have these before you start the installation process. And I've already downloaded this one as well, just to save us some time. So okay, let's go. So first thing we need to do is we need to actually connect FileZilla to our server, and to do that you'll need to enter a couple of details. You need to enter your host, which is going to be like an IP address, your username, and your password. All three of these should have been provided by your service provider, so you should have them ready. I'm going to enter mine here in just a second. Alright, so once we have these entered, we're going to go ahead and click Quick Connect, and it should establish our connection in just a second. Okay, we are now connected. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and place this WordPress package on our server. So we're going to go open this up. You can adjust your panel. This is your local files, and this is your files on the server. So you can, based on what you want to see, you can just go ahead and drag this down like this, so you can get a better look at what you want. So we're going to go to public.html, this folder right here, and then we're going to go under the domain tutorial1, which I've created. It's a subdomain of ESPN that I've created for the purposes of this tutorial. So if this was a real website, you just go ahead and do what I'm going to do, but to the public HTML folder itself. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take this WordPress file, this WordPress folder. Okay, you can take this WordPress folder, or you can just open it up and take its contents, and we're going to just drag it up here in the tutorial. So this should work. It's, as you can see, it's like 1,300 files. So this could take about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 tops, but it doesn't take that long, but it could take a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave that to work as it is, and I'm going to go ahead and work on what we call our database. And to do that, we're going to have to go to what's called our control panel. Now the control panel is where you get to do lots of really cool stuff regarding your website that you can't do on your WordPress platform. So let's take a look at that now, shall we? So I'm gonna go here. Like, if you ever go there, sometimes you'll see this sort of thing. You can just go ahead and ignore it. Go ahead and log in. Okay, once you're in, as you can see, excuse me, there's a whole lot of cool stuff you can do here. You can set up email accounts, backups of your folders, logs, and like all these other cool stuff. But what we're really here for is for databases. So we're going to scroll down here into MySQL databases. We're going to click that right there. And now we're going to create a new database. Now this new database is basically where our website is going to store all its information that it accumulates over time. So let's go ahead and just make one called test or tutorial. We're just going to make a database called tutorial. Now make sure you know this. So what I'm going to do as I do this is I'm going to open text edit, I'm gonna note down all these details so that when I come back with it, I'm gonna need these details eventually later when I actually connect to my server. So I'm gonna write these all down as I go through, and I think you should do the same too. So our database is called espnco underscore tutorial. Okay, that's that. So let's go ahead and create a database. Alright, it's that simple to create the database. Now the other thing you need to do is you need to create a user to work with the database. So this is the user that's going to, you can access the database with. I already have one, but I don't want to use that one for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one called user, a new one called user. And let's write down our username too. Okay. And now we can make a password. So if you are bad at coming up with complicated password with good passwords, you can use our password generator here. But because this is only a test run, I'm going to use a very simple password. That is password 1 2 3 4. Or maybe I'll just use the password generator. Actually, never mind. Let's use the password generator and copy that thing there. Let's go ahead and click use password, and let's also note down our password here. Okay, let's go ahead and note that down and go ahead and create the user. So there we go. Now the other important thing we need to do is we need to give this user privileges on the database. So let's go ahead and click excuse me, let's go to the database and let's go to tutorial. This is our database. Rename, never mind. Go ahead. Oh yes, down here, user. Let's go ahead and click this and then add them to this database. Click add. Now hit all privileges, hit make changes, and now you've got all the privileges. Like this user now has access to that database, and as you can see, this is indicated here. Okay, so we have all this noted down, and make sure you have all your notes here. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the installation process. Alright, so we've just finished uploading everything to our our server. So now we have WordPress on our server. Now let's go ahead and install it. This is the fun part. So we gotta, how to start the installation process or to make it run the protocol, you gotta go to your tutorial, your URL, and to the file where you actually have the thing. So we're gonna go to tutorial1.espn.com/WordPress. And the reason I'm going here is because this is where I have stored my WordPress files. My WordPress configuration scripts are in this folder. So when I go here, it's gonna go find that script and it's gonna run it. Okay, that's what it's gonna do. So in just a minute. So there we are. So now it's gonna ask you for installation language. Go ahead, continue English. So yeah, now here it's asking us for a couple of things. So we're gonna go ahead and use these. So let's go ahead and note these things down. Let's go and just paste our information here. See, this is why you write it down. It's really, really helpful. So user, and this is gonna be our password. These two can just be left the same. Whoa, and we're almost done. So this stuff I'm not going to work on just because I want to leave that to you. That's all your stuff. You can pick whatever you like to do this. So this has been Darshan Senthil. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you.